I should just say hello. No matter what language I use, good afternoon, good evening, how you all doing, it still boils down to welcome to Standing in My Truth. So today, I just wanted to hand out a bit of motivation. And I hope it goes a long way, but I can only speak as again from my side and my truth. So the question I'm going to ask is, how are you doing, and how are you? What's the difference you're making in your life through lockdown, COVID? How woke have you become? Now, when I say this, I'm not talking about, did you find your black power? Did you find your white power? Did you find your Asian power? Did you find your Yemeni power? Did you find... Do you know, do you know what I mean? I am asking, what have you learned about yourself? What have you put into place for yourself? And this segment that I'm actually going to talk about is a couple of things that I've found through COVID. Now, one thing... let's make it two things. So when COVID started, I'm going to go from stress levels of being with someone. I'm going to cover loneliness and being with someone and the sacrifice you have to make or have made. And it's a difficult one because three things happened through COVID. One, you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship. 2, married. 3, just met someone. So the relationship is just, 4, you're a Tinder dater, you're a Bumble dater, you're a Plenty of Fish, you're an online dater. And there's a lot of serial daters. Let's take number 1 first. The sun's coming through, it feels really good. I don't know if you can see that. It's just beautiful sunshine coming through. So let's start with the first. I'm going to call it 1, the knock-on effect. So you're in a long-term relationship. 2, 3 years, 3, 4 years. And you're both breadwinners. Let's put it that you're both being breadwinners in this relationship. Now, some live together, some don't. COVID has come along, and what it has done is it's telling you, remember right at the beginning of COVID, it's you're in lockdown and you couldn't go to anyone's house. So the ones who didn't live together had to find a way to make that relationship work. The ones who did live together, tell me if this is what happened. The ones who live together, for the first time, you're both in each other's space. For the first time. Now, this is if you're married or long-term. You have you're always in each other's space. So you're in a job. So remember, you get up in the morning, and when you leave, you're missing, one probably works in a bakery, someone works in a factory, one works in an office, the other one works in a construction site, one's a lawyer, the other one's a nurse. So you have different time shifts. But, if there's no children involved, then you live a certain lifestyle. You've got your friends that you'll go out with, and you've got your mates that you'll go out with. And then you'll have your date night, if that still happens, air quotes. For those who do make date nights. And look at me, I always seem to digress. Now, I find that a lot of people who do date nights is if they have children, and so they have to find a way of making that time for themselves. And I love that. I love that date night idea. I really, really do. All of a sudden, COVID comes along. Let's go with the ones that don't have children. You are both under each other's feet. Now you've got to really understand each other. Why do I say that? You've got those who got into the relationship and you've just got great jobs and you've just got good luck. Everything's just going great. You go out, especially if you're young, and, it's just, And you've got those who didn't do a lot of things together, and you've got those who did do things together. But now you are in the same house 24/7, and whoa, there's things that you didn't know about he or she. There's things that you actually realise you don't agree on. There's things that starts to knock you about the person that you're with. Let me just leave that as a thought out there. Then you've got those who've got children. So now you're at home 24/7, and children probably from the ages of probably a year, or a brand new baby, or 6 months, 5-year-old, 4-year-old, still under the age of teenagehood. What do you think happens? Because now you're all under one roof. It's not like when you go on holiday. So you can imagine if you've got a whole family and you've lived together and, you know, you go on holiday. You know that Monday morning when you get back off your holiday, damn, I'm going to work because, oh my God. And I'm telling you this because I've heard husbands and I've heard wives say this. It's like, thank God the holiday's over. We had a really great time, but I was just having to get back to work. Why do we do that? Or why do couples say that? I'll throw that's the second thing I'll throw out there. What has happened through COVID? It has brought everyone under one roof or no roof at all. Let me put it in another way. Footballers. Okay, I know, I've gone football again. But this is a great, for me, I found this as a great analogy. When Alex Ferguson was managing, his wife knew exactly where he was. And so she only saw him X amount of days a week. And then when his career was over, I'm sure she bashed him over the head with a couple of the bottles of wine. Sorry, I love Alex Ferguson. He's one of my heroes, and I'm not a Man United fan. But he even said it a few times. You know, I remember Harry Redknapp saying, oh my God, I'm getting under the wife's feet. Because as managers, they are constantly away. So the relationship worked perfectly where the wife was at home being the family, any children being holding the family together while the husband is out doing his things. The same with the football player. We just read it the other day with Paul Scholes, and I'm not laughing at him. Paul Scholes' wife now wants a divorce. That's strange. Why did she not divorce him when he was playing football? But now the money's run out. Now that he's at home, she's probably seen a whole different side of him. That where it was containable while they were married. But again, remember, I'm only throwing this out there. This is not my truth. I know my truth. All right? This is not my truth. I'm just mingling in someone else's truth. But think about what I'm saying here. Now, in 2020, we've seen a lot, either people dying or we've seen relationships that you thought were so strong absolutely being torn apart. From Dr. Dre, those who know about Dr. Dre, I'm talking about black and white, those who didn't give a toss about what Dr. Dre's doing. And then you've got relationships let's go into the real world here. People who are in a relationship and it was not tangible from the get-go, but you fought to keep it going. And my God, COVID has brought you two together, and you live together and there's nowhere to go. It's not like you can go and rent anywhere. It's not like you can go and live in a hotel. And so domestic abuse then becomes in. I know for a fact of a few domestic abuse instances that has happened where that partner cannot leave the home because now he or she is in the home. And so the anger, whereas before they could walk out the door, run outside, but because of quarantine, there is nowhere to go. Could you imagine? I mean, winter's coming. So people have had to go and take out injunctions. Crazy. which is why I'm asking each individual, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for yourself? How are you making yourself feel better that your relationship still stays tangible? So you've got those as well. You've got relationships where one person now only becomes the breadwinner. Do you know how that feels? If I know that I've got a job, I've always got money coming in, I'm so independent regardless of who I'm dating. And then all of a sudden, I have nothing and I have to be dependent on my partner. That is so demoralizing. That would demoralize me. Because I wouldn't want to beg. I would start to not feel myself anymore. I would start to feel my confidence being stripped. I would start to feel that, who am I? And these are things that I know that I felt being in a relationship, and I didn't even live with someone. I wasn't even in COVID. Now, if this is something on a normal that you would feel when you feel rejection in a relationship, etc., try being in one with someone in COVID, in lockdown, in a house with children, and you just don't feel yourself anymore. Hard. And you still have the partner who is bringing the food in, bringing the money in, doing everything, but at the same time, he or she is feeling no love coming from you because you've run out of love to give. Because you now become so self-absorbent, so cold, you just don't know yourself anymore. And communication breaks down. You're no longer speaking to each other anymore, are you? You don't want to tell anyone because you feel no one's going to understand. And so both of you are in this house bearing these feelings. It's deep. It goes deep. The only thing I can say is that put yourself in each other's shoes. If you live together, put yourself in each other's shoes. If you have a crutch, so your crutch may be food, and the crutch may be alcohol, or the crutch may be drugs, try and park that and have the conversation without any form of paraphernalia. Anything that is going to cloud the mind. But no communication is not good communication. For those who have just started a relationship and those who have broken up because you're, in COVID and you didn't get to see each other, wow. You weren't meant to be, were you meant to be with each other? That tells you that if COVID wasn't here and the two of you were together, that's exactly what was going to happen. I don't know. Maybe distance. I don't know. But then you've got those who are in a relationship, at home, playing happy families, but are sliding into DMs. Hello? What's that all about? Right? So you're sliding into each other's DMs, right? You've got those who are in a relationship but sliding into someone who's single. And what are they supposed to do with that? What are they supposed to do with that? Right? Because it's not like you can leave where you are to come and jump into their bed because we're in lockdown. So what you're bringing to the table in your relationship. So if your relationship is a bit shite, shite, right? Why are you taking your baggage and sliding into someone's DMs? I'm sorry, I'm just saying it as it is. You know what I mean? Whilst I'm sitting here with no baggage, minding my business. You're trying to make me feel like I need to have someone. No. I'll go through this alone. Did you not know there's sex toys out there? Sorry. But I'm just saying. And some people need to park your ass. Seriously. Because if you feel that sex is everything in a relationship, you got this wrong. You got it wrong. It's about the integrity, it's about the loyalty, it's about the honesty, and it's about the energy you both bring to each other. There's nothing wrong with having fun. No one said that you couldn't have fun. And if that suits people to slide in each other's DMs just to have fun because it breaks up the time, good for you. But there are people who genuinely want a relationship. But that's not the quest of my conversation today. Is how are you coping in COVID, in lockdown? What are you doing for yourself to make you feel better? Whether you're in the relationship, whether you've broken up with someone, because what COVID will teach you is who you are as a person. It should teach you who you are as a person. And if it hasn't, what are you doing? What have you been doing? It should teach you who you are, what your challenges are, what are you able to face? Do you deserve to have crap, or do you need to take crap? Or is this a longevity? Can I work through this? I had this conversation today. Our parents would not still be together if they didn't work at everything. So you don't just give up at the first hurdle that things are bad. Don't just give up at the first hurdle. Work on it. And if you feel that working on it is absolutely dragging your soul, and it really is, you feel that you've settled and it's not the right thing to do, have the conversation and let them go. Or find a way. It's not easy where there's children involved either. It's not easy. But find a common ground. Try not to be so angry with each other. In the same home. Look at yourself and find out what's bothering you. And if you find you can't speak to your partner about it, write it down. Or write it and put it in front of he or she. And say, this is how I'm feeling. Find someone to intermediate. If you feel to meditate, into a mediator. If you feel that you really still love that person, you want to be with them, be a mediator. Now, I'm going to go back to the DMs, people. What I don't get is when someone slides into your DMs and they're coming to you with all that, "Whoa, you're really nice, and you feel you're good, and I like you." And because you don't reciprocate, they try to post messages, subliminal messages, or they become snidey towards you. Tell me someone who ain't done that to you when you don't reciprocate how they feel, how you don't feel about them. Because, boy, there is some... I'm speaking my truth. I'm standing in my truth. Okay? Grow up. Where I am in my life, because you've slid into my DMs, doesn't mean we are on the same place. You didn't come to me with your lyrics at the same place. If I've come to you and my persona has come to you quite sexually, I'm sorry. I'm not going to dumb down my sexuality to make you feel good. My sexuality is there to hold up my personality, to let me know that there is still something and I don't have a tree growing out the front, at the side of my head. So because I don't, give you back the signals of, when COVID is over, we'll go for dinner or we'll go and have a drink. Mister, please. It's just that I'm not in that place. And I did not slide into your DMs, you slid into mine. And there's no reason for you to be nasty. So, how I'm going to leave you all today is this. What are you doing for yourself to make your relationships